Hey there! The universe is vast, like really vast. But for now, let's jump into our solar system. There are 8 planets in total: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. I won't really deep dive into things. Instead, I just want to give you an overview about some stuff that's out there in our solar system. The Sun is the center of our solar system. All of our known planets revolve around it. However, the Sun itself is not a planet, but a star. The following 4 planets are all terrestrial planets. Those planets have a surface where you can technically stand on. So let's have a look at Mercury. This tiny planet is the smallest one out of all of them. Just imagine our moon, but only a bit smaller, and then you have Mercury. It's also pretty fast and sprints around the Sun in 88 Earth days. However, rotation wise, it's pretty slow. A single day on Mercury takes 59 Earth days. It's totally bonkers, right? Looks wise, it's also pretty similar to our moon. Mercury has lots of craters from collisions with comets and meteoroids. It gets pretty hot here, but also pretty cold. What do I mean by that? Well, 430 degrees Celsius and minus 100 degrees Celsius? You really wouldn't want to be here, trust me. Venus is the next one on our agenda. Have you noticed that Venus is called after a Roman goddess? The goddess of love, beauty, fertility, you get it. Maybe that's why it's getting so hot in here? Literally, 475 degrees Celsius is what's on the surface level. If you were able to step on this planet, you can see a lot of volcanoes and mountains. While almost all of the planets rotate counterclockwise, we just think it's something special and rotates clockwise. Living for a day on this planet would also be something else. One Venus day equals 243 Earth days. This is even weirder because for Venus to go around the Sun, it takes it only 225 days. Well, not for Earth. Everyone should know about that one because we live on it. It's pretty special because it's actually the only planet that has liquid water on its surface, which allowed life to begin. If you look at the world map, you can also see that most of Earth is actually covered in water. As you probably might know already, one day equals 24 hours. This means that it takes the Earth about 24 hours to fully rotate while it zooms around the Sun. So here's a quick question. If 1 year is around 265 days long, how long does it take Earth to sprint completely around the Sun? Exactly, it takes it around 265 days. Whoa. So why does a year sometimes have 366 days, you ask? Well, I said that it takes the Earth around 365 days, right? To be precise, it's 365.25 days. So to equal it out, we just add one extra day in February every 4 years and call it a leap year. And if you've ever wondered why we have 4 seasons, it's because the Earth's axis of rotation is tilted about 23 degrees. So when the parts of Earth are tilted towards the Sun, then it's automatically warmer there. Here's another neat fact about Earth. If you look up at the sky, especially when it's dark, you can see the moon. In fact, Earth is the only planet that has one single moon. But did you know that the moon was formed by parts of the Earth? A really big rock smashed into Earth and some of Earth's interiors, and the resulting debris decided to be body and formed the moon. Ta-da! Number 4 is Mars. This one is also known as the Red Planet and is actually pretty interesting for us, although it's basically just a giant cold desert. Scientists have found out that there was probably a lot of water on Mars and that it was also a lot warmer there. Well, like billions of years ago. So whenever you see images from those robots on Mars, don't expect that they will find anything living there. We've mentioned rotations a couple of times already, righty? Well, Mars is similar to Earth. One day on Mars is just a little bit longer than on Earth, 24.6 hours. However, one Mars year is 687 Earth days long. And can you believe it? There's another similarity to Earth. Mars also has several seasons because its axis of rotation is equally tilted as Earth. It's just that those seasons last a little bit longer. Do we have another similarity? Well, not really. While Earth has one moon, Mars has 2 moons, but they are way smaller than that of Earth. Those 2 potatoes, yeah, you heard that correctly, are called Phobos and Deimos. Why potatoes? Because they look like one. Oh yeah, by the way, in around 50 million years, Phobos will say hello there to Mars and literally crash into it, probably forming a cool looking ring around Mars. Did you also know that Mars is actually the largest volcano in our whole solar system? It's called Olympus Mons and is about 3 times taller than the Mount Everest. The next 2 planets are so-called gas giants. This means you won't be able to set foot on them. Jupiter is a really big and old chunker. This one is also known as the giant planet. The first question we always have is, can something live on it? And the answer is, probably no. Compared to other planets, one day here is pretty short. It takes Jupiter only around 10 hours for full rotation. However, 1 year is pretty long. Around 12 years on Earth is what it takes to zoom around the sun. Jupiter got lots of moons for a big party. It has 4 large moons and a lot of smaller moons. By a lot, I mean there are 95 officially recognized moons. This one here looks pretty cool, right? It's called Saturn and it has some awesome rings around it. It's actually not the only one that has rings. However, these here are pretty dope. Is there life on here that can admire those rings? Most likely not. 1 day on Saturn is pretty short. It takes it only around 11 hours to rotate around. However, it takes it a whopping 29.4 Earth years to zoom around the sun once. Let's talk moons, guys. Because there are also a lot of moons surrounding Saturn. Right now, there are 146 confirmed moons, but there are probably way more out there. The coolest thing about Saturn are its rings, right? It's assumed that pieces of comets, asteroids, or even shattered moons got pulled in by Saturn's gravity and formed those rings. So if you know your ABC, then you also know what those rings are called. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Yep, A, B, and C are the main rings, and D, E, and F, and G are the more recently discovered ones. Are we done yet? Soon. Our last 2 planets are called ice giants. Lucky number 7 is Uranus. This one also has some cool rings surrounding it, 13 in total. They're pretty faint though. There are 2 sets of rings, 2 outer rings and 9 inner rings. Furthermore, it has a whopping 28 known small moons. Uranus is a super duper cool planet. That's why it's called an ice giant, right? This is also one of the reasons why there's probably no life here. Oh, and it also doesn't really have a surface where you could stand on. More numbers! To fully rotate, Uranus needs around 17 hours. However, to fully zoom around the sun, it needs around 84 Earth years. Here's where it gets pretty wild. Probably long ago, a giant object about the size of Earth collided with Uranus. The result, Uranus's equator is almost at a right angle to its orbit. So what does that mean? Well, the seasons are all super duper extreme. So what happens when the sun doesn't shine on one half of the planet? Well, you're plunged into a 21-year-long super dark winter. Just like Venus, Uranus is also pretty special. It does what it pleases and rotates counterclockwise. Guys, we're almost done! So let's jump into some facts about Neptune. Neptune is not alone. It got 60 known moons and at least 5 main rings and 4 prominent rings arcs surrounding it. The life on Neptune? Well, probably not. So let's scratch our trip to this cool sounding planet. We wouldn't even be able to land on it because there's no solid surface to be found on it. And because it's like 9 times more windier than on Earth, we would also just fly away. 2,000 kilometers per hour hit really hard. Let's talk about more numbers, shall we? Neptune needs around 16 hours to fully rotate. However, it takes it 165 Earth years to make 1 full lap around the sun. The axis of rotation is almost the same as on Earth and Mars, 28 degrees. What does that mean? Yep, it has 4 seasons, but instead of 3 months, 1 season takes around 40 years. Amazing, right? And that's it, folks. I had a lot of fun researching this. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. See ya!